Hi friends, we would like you to subscribe and also press the bell icon so that you'll get the notifications from YouTube.
So women, stress, and generally on a lot of self-esteem I did.
Okay, you are talking of marketing and
No,
sales.
I'm talking about corporates.
I know,
How I
corporate in
help-
marketing and sales you are saying, no? How to
No,
improve that.
not just marketing and sales.
Motivational.
Motivation and all that stuff. Yes. So when we did on self-esteem, confidence, we are indirectly motivating them to achieve their targets.
That target, that's
Because
right.
there are many in their own conflicts, their complexities.
Mhm.
So how to reverse that? Now nobody is going to get 100% reverse, but if we have achieved 75% of reversing mind thoughts,
Fantastic, you are a god then.
No.
If you are able to do that and people are able to get that support.
because
from
we
outside.
use there I use structured ways. I can't custom make it
Mhm.
because you're talking to 30-40 people or 15 people at one time.
Mhm.
So how you do it is, one is, we all know we feel nice when a simple, you look good, your shirt is great.
Mhm.
A compliment, an appreciation. We teach them things which they already know. If you can't appreciate a person, don't criticize them.
Mhm.
Because criticism brings people down.
Mhm.
If you can't, small sayings we tell them.
Mhm.
We tell in such a way that the mind evolves to change differently.
Sure.
Like they're not going to come and tell me in corporates what their problems are. But if we can give them a better pace of working and a better understanding that you're not here for political reasons. Many come in there to politically create problems. We try to tell them or teach them loyalty also. Loyalty is something that's very important. Every firm, corporate expects.
Right.
So the teaching of loyalty alongside with appreciation of life and themselves to
Right.
increase their self-esteem and worth. And some it touches very sensitive topics which they're given half an hour time to discuss it one-to-one.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, when they do that, it just improves the level they are in. At the end of the day, everyone is going to have some issue troubling them. If they know to handle it, and another topic would be resilience, which will attach on all these topics, not just corporates, but into all of us. See, resilience is not a word. It is the ability to bounce back from a very difficult situation, actually from a very tragic situation. Some death can make people for a whole year not even work. But how we structure that, you will say, no, move forward, as I told in the beginning of the interview, or come, like how will I be resilient? How can I come forward? It is, we teach them also to have gratitude. Many of us breathe this air. We don't realize how important we have health with us. We have Maslow's theory, hierarchy of needs. When you re-teach people like on food, on the physiological needs, security, how thankful they are, then this kind of gratitude, or we show them the purpose of life. Many forget the purpose of life. When you rekindle the gratitude, thank God you have this, or even you don't want to thank God, okay, thank your
Nature,
stars, nature, you have the shelter under you, you can do so much more. Why are you destroying your life? Why are you destroying yourself? So they practice that little strengthful learning into everyday life, which pushes, because our brain is a phenomenal structure. It has defense mechanism which help us to forget a lot of pain and move ahead. We can live with pain, but the pain should not allow us to obstruct what we are doing currently. So something I've really been teaching people is on resilience, how to get it in your life, and day by day, nobody is going to change immediately. To understand his own purpose, his own passion. When we rekindle, reignite that you are here for your purpose, you are here to understand what you also want from life. And see, this is a little now, we don't want people to attach, we don't tell them that way, attach yourself from someone else's karma, because spiritually I use certain spiritual things into certain people who are willing to listen. We all come with our own actions. So why are you spoiling your action because of the other person? So by rekindling, making them structure, some people don't have a routine in life. I don't know whether you know this. They get up in the morning, they're dreaming, then night, evening, going out. They don't understand a kind of structure will make them more resilient or more tough to face more which will come, and to be more productive. And gratitude is something which is always expressed at the end of class, always. that, you know, if you, and for that we actually show them these charity homes, old age homes, orphanages, you know, that is going to touch your heart. Whether you say it or not, if I'm going to show you something now, it's going to make you feel,
Sure,
it will
sure.
move you a bit. So this we do, like, you know, at least you have this food, look at this village, the people, I've gone to villages like that, where they're drinking green, murky water.
I know.
So we are showing all that only for them to understand movement. And the movement should be within themselves. So once that movement happens within, the transformation will come to the mind and they activate some,
Sure, I understand.
yeah.
Excellent.
So that's how we teach resilience and moving forward. And structure is always very important. I think without structure, even this camera won't stand, right? You can't put it in the
Yeah.
air. So structure is always thought, like how, you asked me, so how do I teach? There's a kind of structure. It may not even look as if we are teaching or I am telling. We can be playing a game. But in a game, we are understanding, like there will be a moral behind that.
Sure.
This is about it.
So coming to the corporate trainings and all that,
Yeah.
now I also see, as I was telling you about the diverse application in the courts are becoming higher and higher in all the metros in India too. And do you get marriage counseling? Also, you do that in your practice, or how does it help? I mean, have you changed anybody's mind, or people take a stand and move off, or how does it?
So I do have few marriage cases, but it's so sad.
Yeah.
One would be lying up with the other.
Mhm.
One is trying to show it's perfect, but so it's very important that they drop their guards. I meet separately. Then only we have a correct understanding in depth.
Correct.
Then I give the result. If they want to follow it, fine. But I don't push so much on a marriage because it's very important. They understand, they want
Sure.
it, they want to keep it, and they grow with it.
Right.
Because I've seen people give an answer, no, now you have a child, everything will get all right. I think elders used to say
Yeah, that's
this.
what I'm saying. I mean, you get married, then get your child first. Marriage is bondage is better. That's what they say.
Maybe as we play a dice or Ludo game, that is true for few cases, but not everywhere. Because if you're not going to bond, and some, I shouldn't say a child separate, but definitely I'll say have it when you both are ready. No one is ready 100%, right? But okay, I know I want to have this. Unless you jump into the swimming pool, you will
Sure.
never know how to do which stroke.
Right.
So I just take it with the flow, and I don't like to decide. I'm very clear. I am not here to decide for anybody, but I'm here to show the direction, and they decide what is right for them, and that is where true evolving takes place.
Okay, now I did ask you this question of your own upbringing and your own bias. So how does it affect? I mean, if you have a particular rights and wrongs and do's and don'ts for yourself in life, how do you come out of that and look at it very objectively? Somebody, I mean, how do you differentiate? You are a human being, right? You are also playing a role of a supportive role or a counseling role or even a God's role. When somebody is down, like a phoenix bird, they come back in life because
Yeah.
of resilience, you are saying.
Yes.
But does your own personal bias, does it affect you in your...
Yeah, I think in the earlier years, once or twice, my personal bias could have affected. But over the years, I let be and let people be. Another example is parents who came to me at 20, the daughter wants to go to the bar, and they were telling me, you tell her. For me at 20, for a young girl to go to a bar, I have a taboo on it too. So I would say no. I would still say no. But then we came up with another idea that the parents would go and the child would be on the next table. Parents would be far away. So she still gets what she wants and they're still having an eye over the child. So we're striking a balance again.
But do you think today's context, I think you are still talking about 10 years back. Today,
No, there are parents who still go.
is that?
They are now, that's a very small issue. And my upbringing was definitely conservative. So I think a kind of conservatism holds us. I am proud to tell you my tolerance and my absorbing power is high. I'm not going to just leave a thing because I can't. I go on with it, hoping that one day that will get better or it's going to get all right. Because at the end, we as human beings, you said you're a human being, I still believe in miracles.
Okay.
So I know there would be some miracle to help that thing change. So I go on with it. About influencing people, my thing getting biased into them is not going to happen because I let people be and I want them to realize what is good for them. That's
What I'm saying. So
knowledge
difficult.
stems from
Yeah.
which I come from.
Yeah.
So once I can see, we all know smoking is bad. So I can dictate and say it's bad, but is he going to stop? I don't like it. Personally, I don't. So that will influence me when I talk. But how, yeah, that one or two things will definitely influence. But not to a point where I'm taking a decision for them. You know, like one person was so dependent on me. Should I marry him? He is the right guy. Now, if I had said yes, human beings have a blame game, theory game. They'll come and blame me. First, they are very easy to blame anybody in your family. Because of you, this happened. Tomorrow, they'll tell you were the one who decided for our child. So these are limitations and precautions we need to take at work. You know, that kind, I am cautious. Because I am not here to be blamed. I'm here to help. So take the help and move on in life.
So, last one or two questions before we close up. Probably we'll do it later when we get times. We'll get more time with some questions coming from the viewers later to address.
Yes, please.
I want to know how does one become a psychologist? Is it studies and as well as the attitude or the training you go through? And I also want to know what's the differential and how did you become a psychologist first of all?
I was always intrigued by the complexities of human behavior. I love deciphering human behavior, complexities, why everybody was so different. So in my bachelor's, I chose psychology. I couldn't stop because I really tell you, it had been a personal development course for me. I continued another 2 years my master's in psychology. And by then I was understanding why people think of different emotions, attitudes, components. You know, why everyone thinks a different kind of way. It's not just to their upbringing, but today I also understood it's to the expression of their genes. That's the study of the epigenetics. So everybody's genes have expressions on them which make them predisposed to behave a certain kind of way. And I always liked seeing why people do a certain thing and why other people don't do that certain thing. As you had also said, what is right for me need not be right for you or another person. So how do you understand this entire bubble of things? So this course of being a psychologist, and I continue till today, update. Tomorrow my transaction analysis class is also starting. It teaches us from the ego states of which human beings come from, whether they're acting from, behaving from that, they're still in a child mode. Some are responsible, over-matured modes.
Right.
So we understand people better. When you finish your master's, you are a proper psychologist. You choose which area you want to go into PhD, or whether you want to be a clinical psychologist, or or you want to do HR psychology, human resources development. So the various areas, health psychology, cognitive behavioral therapist. Today, what I made out, an amalgamation of various things helps me in my work, enhances what I want to do, elicits better responses. The only reason I added NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, was we know even psychology comes from our mind. Neuro-linguistic programming helps to control the mind. So by attaching these two things together, I'm able to help or enhance people's behavior for the better.
Right.
Psychiatrist is someone who is able to prescribe medicines and studies the subject more to the physiology of why that thing happened. We also study it. We would understand the physiology, but we work more from the mind, where mental well-being is the main highlight, and we are feeding fertilizers all the time to the brain. And they have a right to prescribe medicines, because some may, example, if they're schizophrenic, they may need some kind of medication. So then I would refer, that's the difference between a psychologist and a psychiatrist.
Schizophrenic, is it? You call it?
Schizophrenic. SCHI, schizophrenic.
Schizophrenic. Okay, so difficult to
Yeah.
schizophrenic.
Yeah.
So I want to know whether is there any collaboration between the psychiatrist and psychologist takes place, or how does it?
Yes. If I feel the case does need a kind of medication and demand, then I would refer them to the psychiatrist to take care. Because definitely you need medications. They would get hallucinations, delusions. They think people are pushing them on the roof. Night they hear bells, and you can't help it, because also that comes from a kind of those chemicals produced in the brain and all that stuff. So it's a very vast study. As you said, we can go on talking for days altogether on this. But that's the difference. Then the psychiatrist takes over and does whatever they need to do. Not just medicines, but if they feel more into that study of it, they would take over. I can repair it at this level, it's great.
All right. So, I mean, God bless you with more health and help to the society. Thanks for joining our channel. And if time permits, if the more questions comes, we will keep bothering you with more questions.
No,
Thank
it's
you
a
very much.
pleasure. Thank you for having me and your patience of so long.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, viewers, for having patience and listening to the practicing psychologist explaining to us the ways and means of helping the human race in general. I think we should really, appreciate the psychologists as well as the people like Manju who are really contributing this world to help the mankind itself and without bias, and they are able to help each individual to realize their potential and live happily. I think that is the major objective of the psychologist, even though it's a profession, but this profession, like any other medical practice, any medical practice is equivalent to God's role played, because somebody is saving the life, somebody here saving your living experience in life. So we should thank the psychologist and thank you, Manju, for contributing to this world and to our channel. Thank you very much.
Hi friends, we would like you to subscribe and also press the bell icon so that you will get the notifications from YouTube.